Okay, so this is kind of like just part 2 of the video I did yesterday. I've tried to connect all the Limbus Company abnormalities to the Lobotomy one that it might be aberrations of. Like this part is like slightly a lot longer, but since there are abnormalities that we did encounter, so each of these sections should be a lot shorter. To be honest, yeah, I still find the corroded inquisitor stuff kind of interesting, and I'm pretty sure we did actually get like a nothing there in the corroded inquisitors, since some of the corroded inquisitors had like skills for mimicry and stuff like that, and we can see like the eyes and the bone spikes for them. And which one are these? Yeah, these ones are definitely corroded by nothing there. So yeah, everything there, how like the eyes and the imitation, and like the I'm pretty sure one of these had the skill called mimicry. Just like imitation, so they're just these are just like corroded by mimicry. How Corp got their hand on mimicry, I don't actually know. I think on mimicry or nothing there, it kind of makes sense, Corp choosing to make something that's human, they can't experience having a feeling. To us, this one seems more confusing. Yeah, it's definitely the thing in the mirror dungeon. It's from the thing in the mirror dungeons that drops like the red bane that they say here. They're like mirrored. They're the eco gif and mirror dungeons for red bane, but seriously, who could this be? But like it is like abnormality we see or like something that we haven't. Like, is there anything here with like the distinct red bane? What's the distinct red bane and resembling this posture of being a creature? Judging by the fact that we don't really get much about this abnormality from the skill names, you can just learn that it's extremely aggressive. We can learn that it's extremely aggressive and it blindly charges in. So I really don't know what this one is. To be honest, this one's also quite confusing. Like, what snake abnormality is there? Seriously, which one? The abnormality built around snakes. From the name, we can only learn that it's snakes, and I find it stronger when it's harmed or something like that. But in fact, we don't really get enough clues to get a conclusion for these kind of inquisitors. Because I'm pretty sure there isn't just like direct green snake abnormality in the Lab Corp, so we don't really know here. It's here just stuff that we get from things. How much here and stuff. That Rising Ashes is definitely aberration of Scorched Girl. Right, let me just like read the description. I should wait. Do I have the encounter in here? Wait. Do I have a full encounter on that? Here, okay. A cry from the ashes. A human that was burnt into ashes and wishing just to meet someone. But and in this case, it contrasts Scorched Girl, since it's more of and Scorched Girl is about the story of the girl selling matches. Or Rising Ashes probably depicts the event afterwards. It's just after the matches burn you up and you're left with only ashes, you still don't have the warmth that you wished for. In this way, I feel like kind of similar to Sancho's story, but I feel like it's kind of superficial. Bro. This one's confusing. We see, a smile, it's the Lobotomy pack. It gives blood to those who need it, only blood they have on its own, even those who don't need. But others. I've heard the kind of blood fiend-esque related, but not really. Accepting the blood and donating the blood. With it, this, cry this day or displeasure. So, blood on tubes. So it was able to regenerate itself, but it wishes the blood, and it chooses to perform its task of transferring blood, even if people are unwilling to do so. But like, who could this guy be? If it's kind of a hospital theme. like a hospital, more bloody, more gritty. So to possess this theme while also bearing resemblance to, for this one I seriously do not know. I have literally no clue in this. And we don't even have like ego for voice lines about what it could theoretically be. Sting machine? No. That's definitely not. Why don't touch me. Yeah, I just have no clue with this one. Since I said, this video will be way harder, so don't even get full encounters with them. With failing coffin, frick. Yeah, more of a different team. Yeah, being more foresty theme. On coffin, yeah. Attempting to keep its content. Huh. Yeah, the trapped being. That's certainly disturbing no one. I feel like it might come from the same abnormality as the sleeping bag thing, since they're both about someone contained inside of it. This is someone contained inside a coffin, inside of a coffin, even though they aren't dead. Or for a sleeping bag, they're trapped inside of it, struggling to breathe. I feel like they probably are from similar sources, but what could be the source? To be trapped inside of something shelter, probably not. Express train is the train out to the station. Wait, I have a wild guess. Wait, where? Yeah, it might even be we can change everything. Like the guy that gives us the Solar Calja and Will and Coffin both come from we can change anything. Like the whole point, it traps a person inside. Well, these two are different since, the person is already trapped inside. But when you open them up, the person just doesn't seem to be there. Or, the sleeping bag, the guy that gives the Solar Calja, you destroy the rib cage and the shadowy figure inside. And find the shadowy figure inside. In this one, you open the coffin, and at least you manage to somehow open the coffin, but find that it's completely empty, even though it's willing to get out. Well, for we can change anything, someone gets locked in, and it slowly drains them for PE boxes. Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good idea here. Paper chairman, I'll see who. Yeah, paper chairman. Oh, is it possessed soldiers? Yeah, and to have a theme of business. Not the other bites and dots. And keep what is this? Does it self-reflecting? You should have the favorite eternity. Put it down here, you're at the right of the block. Then you can fulfill the contract. Yeah, so it's based off contracts. Appreciating the drum. Yeah, paper soldiers, defeated torn, play paper cranes. And annoy the paper crumble, basically a proper conversation, don't wish to speak. Yeah, it's somewhat business related. Coffee and cranes. And I feel like to intentionally contrast more childish idea of the paper crane with coffee. You gotta drink it and go to work. I'll reference to fixer culture. I feel like not just fixer culture, just general office culture. I both possess people who possess more playful or something or such side, being around paper planes, represented by the paper crane, and the coffee as in the work life. But I feel like the existence of soldiers does actually make more sense in their relation with the fixers. So who the hell could this be? Today should I look? Since they're both about social ideas, not exactly. Again, some of these are basically possible. Like seriously, who could this guy be? Teresa? No, definitely not. Well, Empire Woodsman, all around Homeburn. No, not this. Not Fred. To be honest, I do have They probably not, maybe not notes. Yeah, I don't really have, I have literally no clue for this one. maybe it's like a complete original that just doesn't happen to be at the Lobotomy Corporation headquarters due to shipping reasons or whatever. So I really don't know about this one. Sunset Wayfarer. Yeah, the existence of Scarlet Moss. Oh, Butterfly. Oh, Butterfly instead. Yeah, take a moment. Never checked the Butterfly. It's not coming on, just visit, busy. I feel like just like the general beauty of nature. I feel like this Abnormality is more about the general beauty of nature. Just to sit down for a second within your busy life to just admire the butterflies fluttering about and look at the sunset and its beautiful hue. So, being built around beauty, and to just wait for a second, judging by what happens here, I feel like it doesn't. I feel like this is the aggressive one, being able to being less built around humanity's issues itself, and more of just a feeling that everyone possesses. You know, when you could just sit down and admire the sunset for 1 second or 2 in your life. So, what could this feeling be? That's like kind of have a wild guess. The Luna? Since they're both about the beauty of something. But I don't really feel like it. Porcupine, probably not. I feel like, it's the whole point of the Worms King, probably not that either. Sinclair scheme, but not exactly. Limbus. What did Limbus Fetus looking at? Yeah. I mean, the shape is similar, but it's probably not that. Funeral Dead Butterflies. Since they're both butterflies, and thinking Funeral Dead Butterflies is more about, death. More about death and the whole point of, waking from the dream of his life and being sent into the peaceful sleep of death. But it's like Funeral Dead Butterflies is like the best guest I have here. So yeah, tomorrow's expression is obviously like today's shy expression, today's shy face. Let me see. Today's shy look. Let's go. Almost even remember the full name. Tomorrow's expression. Tomorrow's expression seems to bear quite a similarity. The whole point of the grafted face. Today's shy look is the abnormality that's based mostly off of social norms about how. And it's a story about it. Talks about how, you're taught to smile more, to look more excited, to look like this, to look like that. So while you are hanging out your laundry, you hanged your face out to dry too. So which one shall you choose? And of course, you should choose Abnormality to work out on it when the guy behind it is on the happy face. Well, for this one, it's one mismatch rival. Yeah, use the eyeballs rather than switching out eyeballs rather than switching out the face. Wearing human skin, just like how many people feel. It's still a thing that's only real wearing. They're a thing that's only wearing human skin because they're told to. And what face should I make tomorrow rather than what face should I be making right now? The day should I look, choose a face that's socially acceptable. Tomorrow's shy expression, to plan out how you're meant to be, try to be human. To try to be human as everyone has told you to. Wait, what? Yeah, they literally never chose this option. I would go for the ego gift here, huh? But interesting. Yeah, the way that it immediately makes their expression that you tell it to do. Yeah, quite similar in the concept, isn't it? Drunkard, frick. Yeah, the kegs, drunkard. I went through a bit. I feel like this is one of the ones that's the hardest to do. Yeah. That's hardest to kind of analyze. I felt it's just generally about alcoholism and stuff. If you say you don't like alcohol, it tells you no, you're wrong. You should like alcohol. And of course, I don't know how to live without alcohol is how you get the bigger rewards. Oh, you do get different drops from failing check? Huh. I never knew that. Yeah. Yeah, the whole point of just, I feel like just about general alcoholism. So which one could be Porcubus? Since Porcubus seems to be highly related to drug use, the whole point that, at first it feels good when you get pricked by its spines, but after a while you get desensitized and have to rub your entire body against it. And eventually your head just straight up explodes from all of it. But it doesn't really look like Porcubus. Only that kind of idea is similar. So what else deals with, addiction and obsession? Where's Shark Guy? Still. Oh yeah. Wait, it's yeah, the dream. Yeah, maybe it's a dreaming current. Like it kind of looks. They kind of look similar, being a creature that's heavily disfigured, or they're meant only to consume one singular thing. Then the dream current is about drug use, shown by a needle inside of it, while the drunkard is more about alcoholism, shown by large amount of alcohol. But that's kind of the best guess I have. I don't really know for this. Gross. Heavily executed scribe. I feel like this abnormality has the most aura farming egos here. Like straight up. Actually have to go hard. Then not rights and wrongs. Yeah. Judgment, retribution, punishment. Yeah, to judge what's right, to judge what's wrong. Valid. Okay. Yeah, it's just like a divine. Oh, alright, also the ego. Where is the ego war signs? Yeah, more of just a face-based idea of what is righteous. More of just like a face-based idea of what is right and what is wrong. Rodion on the ego focuses more on the punishment of punishment. Rodion's ego focuses more on the punishment of these sins, which is the future of crime and punishment. Get it? So, wait, I'm pretty sure this might actually be one of the birds. I feel this might be Judgment Bird. Like the three birds are meant to resemble the head, eye, and claw, with Judgment, and the head, and the three birds are also meant to show like government corruption and tyranny, with the force of the armies, the leadership of the head, and the judgment of laws. But all of them eventually come together to team up against an imaginary enemy, only to find out they become the monster themselves. So I thought Judgment Bird makes sense here. It literally carries around a comically large scale and weighs people's sins, while the Heavenly Scribe also does something similar to that. But the design similarities really aren't there, and I feel like if the three birds had something, all three birds should come with it. So I still thought Limbus fetus has something to do with something. I'm pretty sure the abnormality had eyes like this, so, but I'm probably just misremembering. So Judgment Bird's my best guess. Probably not that though. Say again, like there's three statues and maybe all the statues are aberrations of birds or whatever the hell. And yeah, whatever. I don't actually know the full song. Yeah, the mon and physical definition is religious solution made that broke itself. But just briefly talk about small hands. Plus, yeah, this is absolutely fire design. Like sometimes the mind, it begins off with a matter of fact statement. Sometimes the mind wonders where does it end up. So yeah, I'm pretty just like that's the subconsciousness. I feel like just like the subconsciousness of thought. Sometimes you forcefully grab a thought and materialize it into reality, while other times you simply avoid your thoughts, to simply don't think about it at all. I feel like that's it. and having a black hole-esque design, an event horizon of sorts, where if you think about it, when your thoughts get trapped in it, you're stuck in the loop forever. So I feel like that's kind of it here. Like Wandering Mind, No Phantom Pain, and Mirror Tactile. I should search this up. I should search this up. No, I will. Mirror Tactile Situation. I don't buy one. Be someone else. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, that was Asia. So, does this really relate to this? I thought that there was also some sort of, like empathy thing with this. The statue is distinctly humanoid, and it reaches out to you. So, though it reaches out to you with tentacles, you still recognize them as hands. And, once you, once you get, once you get to touch it, you get a feeling that you only feel yourself. So who the hell could this be? Wandering Minds? Silent? No, not really. Those are Silent Orchestra. It kind of looks like the Silent Orchestra guy, but only a lot of rocks is that whatever the hell the Silent Orchestra guy is made of. Little Prince? No, definitely not here. I'll say I had this thing to say for a while. Like the Little Prince Abnormalities story had a part about an employee with a special birthmark on their head, which in the book Demian, Sinclair and Demian are from. They're special because they have a special mark of Cain on their forehead. So Demian quotes the Little Prince a lot in the Limbus Company. So I feel like maybe they planned the whole thing out already, or maybe they just decided to recycle some random idea. Mirror dimensional refraction variant. Since they're weird and kind of otherworldly, I don't know. What was the story for this guy again? Phenomenon, yeah. It's a bit causative. Yeah, just kind of idea. And it's probably not that. Probably not this, though. A feeling being touched, a wandering mind, a freedom of sorts. Or just the idea that you can't escape something that you brought to this world. Bro, I'm getting cooked here. The thing is, this abnormality goes so hard. I feel like if we got ego and got to read the voice edge something, it'll be easier to understand. But I don't really have a clue. Monkey Tree, that's a funny name. Yeah, it's our branch, it's a keen branch. Oh, nice. Actually talking about this. Then you go get a keen branch, cannot be attained. Huh. Resentful tree. The place of arrow bridge. No, one tree, put on a tree like yeah. Sprinkle water. Oh, it's sprinkle water. Fuck. Let's see it blown away. Sure. Burning wrath and resentment, but yeah, it's a gloomy go. Say change go. Well, just go for Boyara. Can you quench the thirst? I'm quenching the thirst, that's interesting. Everybody lives to want to absorb. Maps 20, and we'll stab arm like 20, I've been bothering you. Oh yeah, it's the tree also screams for some reason. Mantra. The holiday screams, yeah. I don't know, Grave of Cherry Blossoms or something. Since, Grave of Cherry... Bro. Maybe Grave of Cherry Blossoms, since, Grave of Cherry Blossom also has a bunch of arms coming out of its base. But, it's a tree bearing resentment. A tree bearing resentment and hatred, growing on earth that vaporizes water in an instant, where you only have the slimmest chance of being able to bring it back. Parasite. I still don't understand the lore behind Parasite Tree. I'm pretty sure, the whole point is like a feeling, an attachment of sorts, a fulfillment from just being with the tree, but the attachment is inherently parasitic. But I feel like Grave of Cherry Blossom, since Grave of Cherry Blossom also has hands and stuff. But I feel like that's only kind of design similarity, not really anything else. So Grave of Cherry Blossom is my best guess. Horn Man. Horn the Man. So the person's hands. Looks this way, because a cavity in their head, maybe an eye, or a bullet hole. I feel like magic bullets, since magic bullets. Where is it? Got that. Wait, is this how you spell bullet? Oh, it does actually. Alright, yeah, magic bullet is actually called magic bullet. Magic bullet is the ego. Where the hell is the guy? Oh yeah, this. I don't actually know how to say this. Since like we've seen in like the magic bullet egos that the face looks like this, and it has a freaking gun. Of course, it puts it. Yeah, this one uses a revolver. Fell bullet uses a shotgun. Magic bullet uses a musket. Yeah, feeling a gun. If they're in the bullet trigger, no matter how many times the armor strikes. Yeah, the bullet will hit, just like how magic bullet works. The gun named at their own temple. Huh. Before the gun moves right on the gun will point at their head upon my. Oh, this one's interesting. Yeah, like so. Magic bullet is about having to, sacrifice. Is about, deal with the devil. Every 7th shot hits exactly what the devil wants. Fell bullet is more about, inherent wrath. You have to shoot your own comrades in order to kill the enemy. Well, this one seems to be, more darker idea. You have to shoot yourself in. As I said here, you have to shoot yourself in order to shoot the enemy. So, we've got if we've got to shoot other people, we got to shoot other people, we got to shoot other people to kill, and we got to shoot yourself. We come full circle. Let's go. Yeah, Stuck in Heaven is pretty obviously Burrowing Heaven. I think this might be a JoJo stand name, but I might be misremembering. And this one's fairly obvious. Stuck in Heaven, Burrowing Heaven. Wait, what is it? Oh, this is where you get to the tattoo thing. The thing, the tree having something burrow makes a hole in the heart. Yeah. Yeah, Burrowing Heaven always dealt with still looking at it, observation. Which, Spiral Contempt is the aberration from Burrowing Heaven, since it's about the way that its eyes looks at people, and its ego counter is about looking back at it. Burrowing Heaven, it has to deal with eyesight. Number one, it has a bunch of eyeballs, and in the Lobotomy Corporation, if you look away for too much, it does something funny, per se. So, what is this one? Heaven logic, no way to gaze, you only see what you want to see. It would be for me impossible to close, stare into it without blinking. Can Dante even blink? Yeah, because I don't care as a host, which is in pain, and not the ones the eyes are looking at. It must be heaven somewhere behind me. Yeah, the whole point, having to make eye contact with it, but it doesn't actually see you. Burrowing Heaven is about, watching something and wishing to reach up to it, even though the heaven is impossible to reach. Spiral Contempt is about how looking up at something only to realize that it was truly pathetic and looking down at it instead. While Stuck in Heaven chooses to look forwards, seeing what is there, with a gaze that cannot be inverted. Also, yeah, I like that, Burrowing Heaven looks up, Spiral Contempt looks down, Stuck in Heaven looks forwards. That's a pretty good trio. Now, Bluish Star is obviously Blue Star. But what the hell even is Bluish Star? Bluish Star is obviously Blue Star, but that's 003 the same thing. I'll say it's kind of shame that some of the Lobotomy Corporation egos don't get, some of the Lobotomy Corporation abnos don't get their own backgrounds and stuff. So, like in Limbus Company, we can see that all the egos kind of have their own space and background. And the background for Solar Movement goes hard. Like, have you ever seen Solar Gregor's ego when if it zooms out, that goes hard? Yeah, Blue Star, Bluish Star. Blue Star is based around the attraction. I'm pretty sure it's about attraction, since foot fetish, that's about attraction to sucks people into the heart and devours people. Yeah, but the employee tried to enter containment. Yeah, and the whole point, you know, people get lured into the blue star. Oh, bluish. Yeah, bluish star kind of. Yeah, bluish star. I feel like it's kind of just the exact same thing. I feel like that's it. Like we kind of get like an experience of what it is like to be a low-level employee when a blue star activates the ability. You know, oh, you look at the blue. It's blue. It's irresistible, and you know you get sucked into it and you go insane. Or maybe, you get to experience what it's like to be a high-level agent and get to leave the blue star. Yeah, that's very implementaries. So even if you refuse the blueness, you're still imperfect after all. And you know, temptation. That's what blue star is based around in the Lobotomy Corporation. Spider and marriage. I feel like it's probably the exact thing. I'm pretty sure it's the exact thing since, you know, they're both spiders. I feel like if Ryoshu will probably get a spider of marriage ego, like Ryoshu got all the spider egos. You know, Ryoshu got the spider bug, got the red eyes for spider bug. Ryoshu got like 2 red eyes egos, I'm pretty sure. So Ryoshu will probably get the spider of marriage ego, even if she's not married. So she gets all the spider ones, and also since it's mentioned, since Spider House got a name drop in Kanto 8. And anyways, back on topic. Where the hell was the spider guy? Whatever. The spider guy is, you know, giant X that punishes you for trying to squash its spiders. You know, the protective mother figure. Well, spider and marriage rather choose to be, you know, a couple, choose to protect each other. It's all for. Like I read the entire Weird event, and I feel like it's interesting. You know, the whole point is that the ground is covered in thorns and spikes, and whenever it crawls around, its hand gets impaled by thousands of spikes. But just before one of the sides gets too hurt to keep crawling, the other side chooses it flips over to the other side and continues crawling from that side instead, kind of representing how, you know, a couple's responsibility is to protect each other. Well, you know, the X-Act is about, you know, a parent's role to protect their child. Countering teeth, frick. Who the hell is this guy? I don't know, matching smiley body is. I read the entire thing, you know, it's a coward and the skulls kind of just roll around and to make expressions. Wait, I have a wild guess. I have an absolutely wild guess here. In Today Shall I Look. And we just gonna name Today Shall I Look, you know, they both bear expression. For Today Shall I Look, you know, you have to choose what expression you have to interact with it with. And for this one, you have to. You know, choose the expression that the skulls make. Today Shall I Look is about, you know, your facial expression that you're meant to make. While the chattering teeth is more about the feeling that you feel on the inside, since Today Shall I Look is based around the skin. Well, you know, chattering teeth is built around the skull on the outside. Really is a good idea. I'm thinking it knocked exactly close, but I feel like it's good enough. Come and play, frick. To be honest, I also kind of have an idea for this. Where's the guy? I forgot the name. Child of something. Where the hell is the guy? The Child of the Universe, the Child of the Galaxy, right? That. You know, both of them. Yes. You know, both of them focus around like wishing to. Both of them are built around, you know, wanting to become friends with someone, to you know, make a bond with someone. And of course, they both give you a gift. Will You Play gives you the voodoo doll as a gift, while Child of the Galaxy gives you the galaxy thingamajig as a gift. So, you know, Will You Play, like, wants you to play rock, paper, scissors with it. You win if you play paper. Yeah, when you play paper, and you get, and you know, they give you a gift. My Child of the Galaxy also gives you a gift. I think in Child of the Galaxy is about, you know, losing your friendship. Since when the guy with gift dies, Child of the Galaxy breaches or something. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Well, what you play is, you know, about a general friendship, a happiness got from each other. So, but, you know, it's not exactly full friendships. So that's why it's a voodoo doll and not just a normal doll. And of course, you know, the way that the heart is bleeding here. Wait, that heart is bleeding here, and you can see a bunch of spikes coming out of the child. Are those a bunch of spikes? As those are a bunch of spikes coming out of the child. You know, the voodoo doll is covered in swords. The child also like that. But I felt it's more like a reliance. Child of Galaxy focuses more on the bond, choosing to be able to handle losing someone. But when you play is more of reliance. I choose to give them the voodoo doll. Choose to give them the voodoo dolls that affects yourself. And of course, the fact that the voodoo doll's heart is bleeding shows the nature of this child here. Yeah, children in flask, frick. Who the hell is this? Like I'm pretty sure I don't even remember dealing with this guy. Whatever the liquids. A droplet. Yeah, sad droplet. Okay, how do you cover droplets? Yeah, child in the foot. Yeah, child. This droplet pretty body. Yeah, so it's all right. Back to where you belong. Yeah, and shit on the. Look like we might have looked like what they tried, but to me, this is how. I feel like this is more of just like society in general. Everyone is but droplets. So swirling around. Maybe one is sad, maybe one is angry, maybe one's happy. But after all, we're merely children of the city, aren't we? So who could this be? Okay, wait. So how does maybe giant tree sap, since zero water? No, not really. Part of a society, part of a system. You function in it, whether in one way or another. I'm wearing black. No. Melting love, since they're both pink. They're both pink goosings. I really don't know about this one. And Melting Love is my best guess. Maybe it's original. I don't know. Now, all around cleaner is pretty obvious. Where's the guy? All around helper. All around clean. Like they're the same thing. You can see the face, and the face from all around helper, and just the whole point. They're both built around robotics, and of course the nature of oneself is in the society. I just want to ask if you are special, but I realize that it's not special whatsoever, since it's just one manufactured robot out of many. All around helper is the robot meant to help, but after all that happens, chooses to merely lash out. Smoky old man is pretty obviously old woman. Where is she? Where is the old woman? She's somewhere here. Where did the old woman go? Where? Old lady? I don't know. Yeah, old lady. Smoky old man is pretty obviously old lady, like I read the time we are dungeon event. My whole point, first they both emanate black smoke that resembles loneliness. They both emanate the black smoke that anyways, the black smoke is meant to, symbolize the loneliness that slowly comes out of you and envelops you after all. But smoky old man old lady focuses more on just the loneliness of not having contact with anyone, of not being able to meet anyone, and merely choosing to share one story. Smoky old man actually also asks you to tell you actually also asks you to tell a story, but he chooses not to tell you a story since he chooses to give you the painting. The whole point. So, old lady is built around, general loneliness of not having anyone. And the old man is built around the loneliness of not being able to return home to where you came from. Since, he spent all his time looking at... the old lady spent all the time looking at the empty containment chamber. Old man spent all his time looking at the painting, and he says the painting is his home that he is unable to return to. So both of them are, growing old, growing detached, and lonely after all. Star Luminary is obviously Blue Star based off the design, but it might not be. I'm pretty sure it's definitely Blue Star though. Where the hell is Blue Star here? Right, what is it? Right, yeah, Blue Star, hypnosis to drag yourself into the core. But this one is more of just like an idea in of itself. No, these are stars, or these are hearts. They are stars, or they are merely just marbles. To agree that they are stars, or to simply say that they are marbles. No, I want to return to the blue star someday. He literally name drops it. So I feel like a star luminary is meant to like resemble more of like a victim of blue star or something like that. To have attachment to something, even though it's completely fake whatsoever. Completely fake. Even though they're completely fake. And this, only having someone else to see your insanity, your attachment in of it themselves. No, important truths. And so that's how you see. Yeah, that's how you see them, not that's how they are. Yeah, and the tranquil nature. While, the employees sucked in by blue stars are freaking like spinning around and stuff. Maybe they believe that it's a tranquil existence that they're going towards. Centipede apostle, frick. Who? That is its 100-foot. Yeah, 100-foot dust maggots. Centipede apostle as spider sack. I don't know. Yeah, mounted of smiley bodies. I don't know. Yeah, apostle of belief. Wonder if playing ground, but shakes and get up ground rest for me. If that face works as secure belief, questioning its substance, and may not have been something which I've done. Doing its own trend, best to ignore the stench. Yeah, it's go around just a blind face towards something that you choose to just not look away from. Just a blind face within something, a blind face, a belief. Yeah, even if it's completely rotten and stinking, and still a face nonetheless, for you are its apostle. Now, who the hell could this be? If that was like this shock centipede, there might be like a centipede abnormality that all of these guys are from, but I just have no clue. Abnormality based off a face. And maybe based off a face, a belief, unquestioning it of itself. Who could have founded bugs since belief systems, no. Definitely not one sin. One sin is way too specific. I wouldn't know. White Knight or like Plague Doctor. This is a White Knight be around, it's again, White Knight's more of just like a specifically divineness idea. A centipede apostle is more about faith in itself. And the whole point of that faith isn't exact just religion. It's just a belief in something. I have no freaking clue. I have no clue for this one. Yeah, Forsaken Employee. I'm pretty sure like a similar naming scheme for this. Yeah, Forsaken Murder. Yeah, Forsaken. And where's tree tracker, the tree tree tracker that's really made, an insane person, an abandoned person, a lost person, both forcibly chained to the corner of the room, meant to. Are they free, or are they lamenting upon their own sins? Is this a deserved punishment, or is it just suffering? Yeah, we're a box for them, and moved into the door. Yeah, also ran me the door. Also ran me the head against the wall. Forsaken Murder also puts its head in like the metal single-majig and rams his head too. If one, but away no choice. Yeah, we've been abandoned. Forsaken Murder abandoned by society. As some may say. Unless a Forsaken employee was abandoned by Lobotomy Corporation. Heavily Commander Scribe. Frick. To be honest, this one's also really confusing to me. Like straight up, who could this guy be? A heavily commanded I wish to serve. I feel like religion and obedience pretty obviously, commanding something. And commanding something, and thus it shall be brought upon. A heavily commander scribe, merely a scribe of such. And, a sorting path. Yeah, a sorting path that we all take. And, no command. To live without command is quite a sorry path, though. Have none to guide you. But I'm still stumped on who this could King Greed, because thing, though. I'll say I've been labeling a lot of stuff King Greed, but again, it's the most yellow guy of the bunch. If you see a yellow guy, maybe it's it. Heavenly command, heavenly belief. A scribe, but merely a scribe to carry out one's commands. The machine that follows orders, I don't know. I don't know, like a machine that follows orders, like, the robot guy. You know what? This video is taking way too long. There's way too much of these I give up here. Time Duck, Frick. Time Duck, asking what it even is until time that passes. What face do I take? No present. Dr. Rabbit asks, Rabbit. The rabbit, I think it doesn't even look like it. I thought it looks more like a duck here, or you can argue in the comment section, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a duck. Duck recipe. Alright, yeah, the optical illusion of is it a rabbit or is it a duck? As for this, I do not know. I literally have no clue in this. I straight up have no clue whatsoever. Who could this be? Whoever will be, I have no clue. Dimension oxidization variant is pretty obviously dimensional refraction variant. Like, the name scheme is very obvious. No, it's just like that room. Is it there? Is it not there? It's a feeling, a force that exists outside of reality. It's only an energy, it's only a phenomenon, and it exists as such. But like being able to see it due to the light here, while it kind of exists as this thing outside of reality. Like choosing to touch it, and touching it kills you, just like dimensional refraction. That dimensional orbit has stabilizers is also dimensional refraction variant. But dimensional orbit variation seems to be built. Thinking, it's refraction, oxidization, the orbit, all natural laws. And this too is a natural law. And the whole point is, is the orbits instead actually take on more human qualities. Since we're all orbiting around things in life, our molecules from the smallest particle possible. And it's definitely not quark. It's definitely not quarks. There's definitely things that are smaller than that. Everything revolves in an orbit. Even us humans do. Those who are bound, and those who are the binds. Perhaps we really do live in society. Get it? Tomb and bone, frick. Little freak. What the hell even is this about? Giant graveyard. Oh, they refuse to be here. Only to be blurring. This is craft air. Can talk stuff about bones, human bones. Yeah. Wait, voice. If I skeleton, the one trying to reach out. Yeah, I feel like this is probably about to the smiley bodies. The amount to smiley bodies is about the tragic event of a bunch of employees killed and buried together in such a place. While all the bones found in the Tomb of Bones also do not wish to be there. Funeral of dying butterflies, obviously funeral of dead butterflies. I read the entire log for this. It's kind of about funeral of dead butterflies believes life and its existence is a dream, and to simply rest in peaceful death is to awaken. Well, this chooses to be a rather dying butterfly. Chooses to be a dying butterfly. It talks about, how it sent in job offer. And the whole point is that the answer is that it got declined. You have to tell whether it did or if it did not. If you tell the truth that its job offer got declined, the butterfly, it simply just accepts the fact and just says that it shouldn't be dreaming of something that doesn't happen anyways. And the butterfly flies away and the body collapses onto the ground. And also, I feel like it's a really cool moment where it's like revealed that the head in the bag is actually the head of the body. The butterfly simply just landed on it. The butterfly simply just landed on it, living a dream, The dream that you are a butterfly, or the butterfly dream that it's human. The butterfly merely landed on it had to give it a dream, a false sense of hope, even though it was long dead. Even though it was in the process of dying anyways. And also the similarity of having 3 arms. I'm pretty sure if you roll dead butterfly actually has 4 arms. Wait, no, yeah, it has 4 arms. Like, it has 4 arms. The 4th arm is behind you. Like, you know, if you hopefully if you roll dead butterfly, the funeral dying butterfly, that a butterfly was 4 wings and a human was 4 arms. Just to overdoing assignments, I'm completely stumped. Yeah, it's about, you know, the general stress, you know, the hell that is, you know, assignments. Like if you hate school, like the general. I'm pretty sure there was a distortion detective that was also called by entire school distorting. I'm pretty sure it doesn't really look like this, or did it? I don't really know. Like more of an academic theme, I believe. I'm just like cycling through this real quick. No clues. Leave your suggestions in comment. Handshakes of handshakes. What's Elder Ring? Nice. You know, like shaking out hand. No, I should shake hand. This. No, push your hand away. The dire handshakes. I have no clue. You know, the wrist guards, the, you know, not shake hand was the freaking thing. Like a more of a gold and stone aesthetic. And favor adjustment, no. Yeah, just completely stumped at these. Like, I'm completely stumped at all of these ones. Centaur looks like the dim sing magic too. And it's also had the hospital theme, but like, oh, and maybe they're like hospital themed abnormalities these guys all come from, so I don't really know. Hydra, frick. Oh boy, you know, they argue about like what surgery to give. So they just argue about what surgery to give. They just walk around and have a really good turn and you won't hurt, I think. Terminal movements, once they between and by your mind. Well, if it's on the club and scar. You know, and the whole point of painkillers. Seriously, I have no clue for this one. Seriously, who could the see would be? Maybe it's original. Maybe there's like a hospital theme with abnormalities that were. Maybe like we might get like a hospital team Kanto or something, and we have to fight all the hospital ones. Sleepyhead is pretty obviously meant to be a drinky bird. Since, you know, you put water in one side, it falls over, it drinks it, it falls all the way up. Yeah, and hopefully, you know, it needs blood to drink as it should. Yeah, I think my Aberrations hammer is to act as a counterweight for it. The counterweight. Now, maybe it's one of the 3 birds. It's probably not 3 birds. Maybe it's bloodbath. I don't know. No, the abnormality is hammer to be left up here. I'm in the sound out or today. It's sated. Yeah, it needs to be sated. So even though it seems inanimate, it has inherent bloodlust. And maybe blood. Oh, singing machine. Yeah. Yeah, Sleepyhead is probably actually singing machine. No, Sleepyhead is just a drinky bird that needs blood to function. Singing machine is a machine that sings and needs blood to function. That both of them are seemingly mechanical objects, but bear an inherent bloodlust, and in fact require human blood to function. Honestly, I feel like I'm pretty smart for getting that one going griff frick. They could. Ooh, it's I can solo her. That's I can solo her. There he is. Yeah, there. No, body turned into hand. And that's whole body turned into hand. Oh, that's what's happening here, huh? Remove the hand. Try to remove it. The front to greed. Yeah, I'll get shaped on you. I feel this might actually be King of Greed. Because, you know, the whole point of the King of Greed, chooses to imprison herself. You know, how the greediness like manifests the form of giant mouse, consuming everything in its path. Wow, this guy also manifested to a giant mouse. Wow, King of Greed, imprisoned herself into amber. Well, this guy also like shoves his head into the jar, you know. His head into the jar. But yeah, this guy being a magical girl is kind of weird though. But that's the best guess I have. King Greed is high, the best one I got. This one's weird. I also like the background for this. Like, it feels really artsy. You know, like the infinitely extending roadways. You know, liminal space. That was like a cool keyword everyone talked about. And that one-way road, no coming back. I see a vacant and now to the road be jam-packed with car. Turn around, yeah, the car behind you, even though there might not be. Take it by away. Yeah, following the road. And you get God of traffic. I have no clue. I feel like how we did ability. I bet this is based off kind of the idea of, you know, rule the road. You know, like how people say about, you know, rule the road could be entirely community-based idea. You know, no tailgating, don't follow me too close. Remember to go out to speed limit, guys. You know, that kind of stuff. But, like, I get the message, but, like, who, like, is this about this small body? I don't know, look at its skulls, and, you know, the faces look like it. Right, also, you know, it's not just small body, it's about a bunch of people crammed in a small room, while this guy, you know, a bunch of cars crammed onto the highway. But that's, like, the best guess I get on amount of smaller bodies. But then again, this guy being an A-list. But then again, I'm pretty sure her aberrations are usually not the same strat level. Broken wings. Yeah, statue. Oh yeah, this guy kind of looks like the Pernews. This guy, the heavily executor scribe. You know, both being statues. I feel like heavily commander scribe, heavily executor scribe, and broken wings might come from like the same source. Wait, no, judging by name scheme. They're not named heavenly here, so maybe they're based off the same abnormality, but that's the best they've got. Broken wings, a beautiful marble statue. You know, it's also about face. Face in, you know, face in the grates. You know, the sound of trumpets. The sound of trumpets to nail your head on the rag before us, just as you should. Wait. Yeah, this guy looks like the thing from the calendar guy. Frick, I forgot. Yeah, this guy looks like the follower of the impending day, you know. Like the whole point of the face being like that. Impending day is based more of, you know, is based more of how face sometimes predicts the apocalypse that we all are meant to follow, and how face demands sacrifice that shall be paid in blood. Well, this guy is about how face requires you to bow your head and to not look up. Wait, is there anyone in the Lobotomy Corporation with like a head like that? To be honest, it might actually be White Knight. But I was thinking White Knight doesn't have a head like that, and you know, the whole similarity of the head being... The whole point, you know, the head being similar seems to be way too big of a similarity to just be cut out like this. So, no clue of Cyclops, I'm just stumped. No, let's see, I remember, you know, in the live stream, Kim Ji-hoon had the Cyclops Kim Ji-hoon. No, it's a secret. I've had this guy more of, you know, hospital base, you know, NDA about the patients and stuff. And I do, you know. I've had there's like a ton of like hospital-related abnormalities, and I don't really think there's like a hospital-related one in Lob Corp. You guys could correct me about that one, though. The whole point, I feel like these might be like these guys might show up in like same refraction railway or as the same canto or something, since you know, they're all hospital-based. Yeah, I found Clockwork Time roly-poly is similar to like the duck or rabbit, where the guys. Yeah, the time duck and the Clockwork Time roly-poly. It felt like they come from the same thing since they're based more around gears. Like from this guy we could get the asymmetrical inertia ego. And you know, if you whole point of the asymmetrical inertia ego is, you know, gears working against each other rather than for each other. It's the way that gears are haphazardly crammed together, and this tied together with red ribbons, restricting all their movements. Yeah, the bell toll. Yeah, you know, ring out the bell. Push it further. Yeah, the bell that hangs off the clock. Also, is there like a machine-based one? I'm pretty sure backwards clock is God's steam machine, so it's probably not backwards clock. The backwards clock is, you know, this repeating cycle in the vegan day. It's more like steampunk. So it's probably the backwards clock. Like, is there any other like steampunky one? Again, I feel like this guy and the Clockwork guy and the Time Ripper, they're all like steampunk-ish. So I feel like they might come from the same abnormality. How long do you have to go? Okay, this is good enough. Explorer, frick. Explorer, frozen tower corpses. Signpost. There go to profession. Right, yeah, person that functions as a signpost. I'm pretty sure this is based off, the story about some stories about Mount Everest, how certain valleys are actually named off after the clothes and the jackets that are left inside of them. And of course, it's the corpses that wears those jackets. Of course, they are horribly frozen to death, but after all, it's their body function as a signpost, so at least they help someone get to where they're meant to. And the way that all the arms are used as a signpost. So in death, they were a tool nonetheless. I feel like this guy might actually be an aberration, but I don't really have a clue. Scarecrow was the best guess, but after that, I don't really have much. Resident Metropolis. Really, this guy looks cool. There's a piece. But there's nothing there. Oh, nothing here, not nothing there. Huge difference. Only recognized being entity. They are somewhere. Yeah, see if there are any citizens, but you can't reach them. Yeah, revolutionaries. They will, that would not heal. And don't turn them into scar. Yeah, certain senses, if they got their dares to breathe and block, the sit there forever at peace. I feel like this, this is more based around revolution and the so-called paradise. One day we shall build the perfect city where none suffer and all shall be equal, and still it will be paradise. But does it exist, or is it merely an empty city of imagination? So just stroll past it, can't you? You must be happy since it's about, no. Express train, not exactly. All-round helper, probably not that either. Nah, I'm spending less time on this. I might be able to throw in a few more guests if I got more time, but this video is already like an hour long straight up. Yeah, bacillus soup, no. Bacillus soup, I have literally no clue. I'll say, yeah, it's absolutely fire design, but I have stripped, fire literally, but I have no clue. The mystery me, mystery Vijas, and delicious food. You guys feel free. Yeah, I feel like this is. Yeah, I feel like it's a more benevolent abnormality since it chooses to offer you the soup and lets you even take the cauldron. It's also, based off a medieval setting, combining elements of a dragon, a snake, and a knight, and, a tavern. Sandolph is obviously Rudolph. Widows. Yeah, Rudolta. And Sandolph is Rudolta, since they're both they're also both like misspelled versions of Santa and Rudolph. Sandolph is Rudolph plus Santa. Rudolta is also Rudolph plus Santa. And they're both Christmas stuff. Cozy bed. Plus, I feel like a cozy bed is quite an interesting one. It's all boy, a Christmas nightmare. Express. Man, that does a lot of checks. And like bed, why the thoughts approach. It takes a knockdown candlestick. Nothing lives under the bed, or if you fail, and like the worst right now, NPC, nothing lives under the bed. And like under it, and ducks under there, it could be curiosity, some scratches. Yeah, so there's something under the bed. Nothing happens if you don't approach. I saw a monster, Christmas, pure horror, anxiety. Yeah, I feel like it's just based off just a general, more childish idea. The childish fun of Christmas and receiving gifts, but also the childish fear of the monster underneath the bed. Is there anything similar to this? Oh, fuck. Is there like an aberration for this? I have literally no clue. Maybe also Redalta since they're all Christmas, but that's the best guess I have. Ew, I've never seen this one before. Yeah. Alright, yeah, the guy that showed up in Rodeo. In Rodeo Thingamajig. Yeah, we never actually see the full ability. We need to burn them. And, you know, just general judgment being based more on the witch's trial. I'll say, yeah, this is a fire. This is Diamond's fire, you know, literally. No, witch's trial, righteous trial, and a burning flame, and a burning flame for it too. Straight up have no clue. Yeah, no clue, literally no clue, no idea. You guys tell me. And Yingdong. I'll say Yingdong is probably actually Ying. I used to think it was Firebird since the whole thing that talks about, you know, commandments of heavens and self-sacrifice. Well, and, you know, the egg in the background of the ego. But judging by the abnormality of the name, it's definitely Yin. And, you know, like the dragon that Honglu turns into, you know, looks just like the dragon that Yin and Yang fuse into. But now all we're missing is Yingdong. You know, so he's Yingdong, so I guess that's kind of just it. Yeah, you know, hopefully, you know, the dragon in the background there. Yeah, I guess this is it. To be honest, I probably feel like making a part 3 of these videos get enough views where I just like try to figure out how the ones that I did get, and you guys can like give out suggestions and stuff. Well, frick, I forgot to review someone. Book of Aberration. And the whole boy is, you know, just the whole boy mountain made of rocks, and to just continuously build up the ego. Yeah, I feel like they're seem to be more of like a faith-based idea than, you know, to make wishes. And the general whole point, you know, rock trying to make wishes in them. For this, no idea. Don't have enough time to think about it. For us, right, smoke war. I feel like this could be censored. The whole point, you know, the smoke monster is something terrible beyond something terrible, and looking at it or breathing the smoke has a problem. The censor could be based around the trauma in the smoke war, which is why I can't see it. And so Force Run might be like something based off censored or something like that. Did I miss anything else? Not really. Okay, goodbye. Like and sub.